That was delicious.
Oh, please let me. I am better financially after all. Last time prices were skyrocketed like this, people were calling it the Second Great Depression. Man, 2008, that was a mess, don't you think?
Well, I mean, it was your fault.
My fault? Why would this be my fault?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that the economy dropped because of the bankers, the sketchy deals and everything. Don't act so surprised. We all know you did it.
Sketchy deals? That's just a bunch of speculation. Can we just forget about this and pay the bill 50-50? I need to leave.
Fine, but it's not like you lost anything anyways.
What do you even mean? Can we just get over it already?
Get over it. I couldn't sell my house. I lost my job. Do you know how hard it is to pay a private school for your children? Are you seriously defending criminals right now?
Are you calling me a criminal? Now you've crossed the line. I can't believe you would associate me with those people. You know what? I've had enough. You can pay that yourself. Bye.
There's one perspective missing in this little debate, the government's. Before things get too complex, let's give a little crash course on the financial crisis. It's best to mention that the government had these stamps of approval, if you will. These were called AA and AAA ratings. So the financial crisis truly began under Bush's presidency, when regulations have relaxed. This is what set the financial crisis in motion. How? Adjustable loans. This gave the bank an easier way to sell house loans to people who didn't understand the complexity of it, and they sold it to those who couldn't afford it. In the past, there were fixed loans, meaning you'd pay back 7% of what you borrowed in the next 20 to 30 years. This worked because the owners would steadily be able to pay back the bank. Then, someone thought it'd be a good idea to create adjustable loans, and this works by beginning with a certain percentage, like 2%, then rising to 7 to 8% over a certain amount of time. They would give their stamp of approval on buckets full of investments, which not only included mortgages, but also oil investments and pharmaceuticals. So many people invested in these bucketfuls without actually knowing they weren't secure, thanks to the AAA ratings. Afterwards, President Obama bailed everyone out. But in time, bankers paid every cent back plus interest. The bailout led people to assume that no one had been held fully responsible. But in reality, we are, the government, holding the bankers fully responsible and expect them to be penalized with the full force of the law.
Sure. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that it indeed was our fault and the politicians who were driving the collapse. And to be fair, there was some mis-selling of mortgages, but it wasn't just mortgages, it was bank debt, credit card debt, car loans, etc. You can blame us for providing the credit, but American civilians also played a key role in this, and that is something that we cannot forget. If you talk to a sole trader, they'll tell you that when times are good, put some money away for when times are bad. The civilians just spent and assumed that good times would go on forever. Another role to be considered is that of accounting firms. There is a huge amount of blame to be attributed to them. It was their responsibility to monitor the accounts of the banks. When they signed off the bank's results, they were stating their confidence in the bank's ability to trade in credit. The government fails to mention any of this, and naturally, everyone starts to point fingers at the bankers. So if you ask me, yes, some of our decisions were questionable, but at the end of the day, civilians should have thought things through and learned how to spend their money wisely.
So it's the people's fault? I don't think so. I lost my job, and it was difficult to find work. Companies could not get loans to invest in their businesses, so the job market shrank and unemployment rose. I tried selling my house, but when the crisis began, that was no longer an option. With no job and trying to keep my family in good conditions. Yes, we went for the adjustable loans, but can you blame us? We found an opportunity and took it, but the bankers knew we would. The bankers took advantage of us, and it's their fault.
So, whose fault was it really?
I was a victim, so I'm not responsible for this.
It wasn't the government's fault. We had relaxed rules that led to this, but we didn't anyone into doing anything.
Guys, were you not listening? It was not my fault.
Hey, Cayetana, would you, join me in the bathroom for a second?
Okay, I'll just sit here.
What do you think we should do?
We should show them who's actually guilty. Oh.
Okay, guys.
Hey,
So what were you guys gonna do for the weekend?
I don't know. What about you guys?
Are you the banker?
Yes.
You are under arrest. Anything
What?
you say can
Guys,
and will be
I told
used
you I
against you in
didn't
a
do
court of law.
anything.
I didn't do anything. Ugh.